Good morning. 10:57 a.m. 8/19/2020. It's old me again, Robert Firestone from the flyover state of West Virginia. Uh, when are we gonna quit doing this shit? This Democratic Republican against each other. Bam, 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 bam. Been like this for a very long fucking time, hasn't it? It's awful funny. They wanted to divide us and divide the parties and dumb against dumber and uh, dumb against the ones that's got their eyes open and their ears to hear and their eyes to see. It I find it kind of funny that we keep buying into the same old bullshit. Trump just had to pick a party, and he picked the less demonic party, even though it's got Satan written all over it too, known as the Republic Party. People can say what they want if he's putting us back up under a republic, getting rid of the Democrats, which I believe they're doing that themselves. They're doing a real good job of it. Yeah. Anyway, back to somewhat being, I guess, serious. For anybody that took Michael's speech, and for the ones that don't understand who Michael is, it is AKA Michelle. I done seen that 5 o'clock shadow, and I done seen the little Pinocchio it's got between its legs sticking out in pictures. For anybody that believes that's a woman, there's a trans testicle out here just for you. I'm telling you. I know I'm getting on there being stupid, but I gotta find some kind of comedy amongst all this serious stupidity. Um, Trump's our president. He will be for the next 4 years coming up, whether you like it or not. Okay. Had a long, long conversation with an individual that come from the Census Bureau. This makes now one at the bottom of the steps. Some lady asked me some questions back 6 months ago. Then they sent their little um, illegitimate paperwork here to the house. I filled it out, went through it piece by piece. I even took the time to take a dictionary and show them how grammatically their questions was wrong to the situation of them asking me. I guess they didn't like that. So they sent this guy. This guy, another West Virginian, pretty nice fella. Had his head kind of screwed on straight and understood a lot of what was going on in this world by what he's seeing and hearing, and he knows it's a bunch of BS. And always, it's weird, this two-party system, but it's always about we, the people. Like I said, I've said it before. It's about we, the people, and we need to get something fixed. Every 4 years of us having a say-so, that kind of sucks. Within that 4 years, man, there's a lot of shit could happen. Um, you don't understand what I mean? Go look up pictures of Chicago, New York, Baltimore, all these bigger cities. Some of these places that you see abandoned, boarded up, burnt down is less than a year or two old. Some of them months, some of them hours. Then the Democratic Party got Basement Joe there. That's a joke. The man don't know if he's coming or going. At least that's the the script that Hollywood wrote for him. Some retired from some writers guild from Hollywood. Okay, this man probably gets up in the morning and he's got his pants laid out for him, his socks, his underwear, his belt, his wallet, his suit, his tie, everything. So he don't even have to think about that in the morning. Then there's somebody standing in the bathroom with him when he's taking a poop to remind him to wipe his ass. Because if not, he'd probably forget. If this ain't all a game. So this is where a lot of us is failing to realize that we feel sorry for the fucking fool. I don't feel sorry for him. Okay? I'm like this. For if he does have Alzheimer's, I feel sorry for certain parts of his family members that don't really know Joe. Okay? But for the ones that know Joe, they knowed out of 50, 60 years of him being in our government, he hasn't done nothing. Period. So look at his records. He helped bring on the incarceration of a whole lot of black people. He helped do that. Okay. He gave us his fine review on an AK-15 and a shotgun. He done that. People, please have an understanding. For whoever sees this video, it ain't got nothing to do with the damn party. It is we the people. Okay? The sucky part is the lesser of two evils. Okay? The flip of the coin. The heads or the tails. Okay? But us being we the people, okay, here's a quarter. There's the back of it. Right there is us. So, lesser of two evils. Trump, Biden. That's not a real big consideration for me. It don't weigh heavy on me to understand who's right, who's wrong. Because this is what this boils down to. Right, wrong, good, or bad. Okay? The track record of the Democratic Party. Bad. Period. Okay? The only time that they ever done anything humane or to the humanitarian side. And the bad thing about it is for them, everybody can go look for themselves if they'll get themselves out of the point of no return known as the Twilight Zone, MSN, that keeps sucking them in. Okay? You look at the records. That's public record. Okay? You see them do anytime that they do anything humanitarian or to help we the people, there is a clause, catch-22, something in this big-ass group of papers that they passed that was for them and their party. Truth's truth. If you care to go look, it's there. If you don't be fucking running around running your fucking mouth that you think you know something. You don't. Point blank. We gotta, money's a big motivator. I see a lot of this BLM and Antifa as a paycheck for them guys. Okay, some I don't know if all of them is getting paid or not. Okay, I can't say that. I'm not out there. I'm not part of that organization. I know what I've read online and from their own web pages. If anything, BLM ought to be really pissing the hell out of black people, pissing them off to the point of them figuring out a way to sue the BLM for reverse racism, because that's what that bullshit's about. And it falls back under a communist and a socialist faction. Okay, there are at least 60 to 80% of these people running up and down the street, back and forth, running that mouth, causing problems, burning shit. They're fucking white. They're not black. How in the fuck is a white guy helping your cause, or a white girl, or white person? Most of them are so stupid. If you catch them at the right time and ask them their name, they couldn't tell you. They had to think about it. That's what it boils down to. It's it's just blowing me away that people have come complicit. Okay, I've had this discussion with several Christians, and even my mother, and for whatever reason, she was indoctrinated into believing certain things in the Bible a certain way. Okay, if you want your house painted, okay, you got the paint, you got the brushes, you set them on the front porch, and you start praying to God about getting your house painted. Okay, that means after you get done praying, getting off your damn knees, okay, back on your feet, that means your ass needs to get out there and start painting. There's not going to be this wonderful fairy come by and do something for you that you're capable enough doing. Okay, he knows what you're capable of. He's the one that made you. Okay, and to all these people, and I've been listening and watching this because it's fascinated me. I don't know how anybody else out there, but the so-called thousands and thousands of years of gods that's been on this earth. Okay, all these other gods. Then you start comparing one set of these gods to another set of gods from one part of the world to the next part of the world. Their names change, of course, because here this language is this and here this language is that. Okay, they change the names, but when you actually start looking into the God, one single God, okay, they got massive groups of these gods that they follow and worship. You start looking at the comparisons. Okay, this God over here has got all this wonderful power and can do this, that, and the other. Well, damn, this one all the way across the world has the same powers. But at the same time, now these gods are supposed to live for thousands and thousands of years, and supposed to, you know, be something that they're telling us in their history, okay, that they are, but their abilities are the same. It lived at different times sometimes, okay, or existed. I can't say lived because gods are supposed to be mortal, and most people don't understand what mortal means. It means they have the ability to live forever. If I said that right, I could be wrong. Don't walk on water. But anyway, let's get back to the census guy. Real good guy. He done his job on what he was supposed to ask me and this, that, and the other. And me and him got on conversations, politics, and this, that, and the other. And he's not a Trump supporter. And I had to ask him, I said, well, can I ask you why? And he told me, and it's something that happened in the beginning of the run about so-called, or Trump made fun of somebody handicapped, okay? Made a gesture or something at the podium, Okay? And I had to praise him because most people that don't like Trump cannot tell you why. I can tell you why. Most of them's brainwashed to what they've heard. Okay? Not what they went to see. Not what they wanted to have an individual to be for them. Okay? It's like I explained to him, that's great. He actually understood why that he didn't really like Trump. He didn't hate him, and he knew that Trump was doing great things for the United States, but he didn't know how much. That's because the MSM don't want to tell the truth. Don't want people to see. Okay? I think it started off, 30, 40, maybe 50 things when Trump first got into office that he had promised the American people he would do. Well, my understanding about every one of them things has been accomplished, even down to peace in the Middle East. That's coming. Okay? For the Bible believers. Oh my God. This is going to be the end of time. I don't know when the end of time is. Y'all can proclaim all y'all want to. Y'all know. I do not know. Okay? And I've read my Bible quite a bit, studied my Bible quite a bit, listened for hours to preachers that I respected, and a lot that never called themselves a preacher. They called themselves teachers, just like it's supposed to be. So, anyway, he understood that, and I explained to him. I said, "You want to?" Because I asked him if he was up to a challenge, and he said, "Yeah." I said, "You really want to see what Trump's about? Go to the website, Washington website, look up executive orders. This is for all y'all too. You really want to see what that man's about? Go start reading his executive orders. If you do nothing but 5 a day since he's been into office, okay, to now, 5 a day. Challenge yourself to read at least 5 a day. Or if you're the type of person that could do what they call a brief read and get the general understanding out of something, I'm able to do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm not. I got to go back up 3 times, read it just to make sure I understand it. Some things I can. But anyway, that was my challenge to him. And, you know, he ain't even hearing, because I asked him, I said, did he understand that we're not going to be having because we was talking about money, and he was talking about how much money is taken out of his paycheck and this, that, and the other. I said, well, that here soon's going to be squashed. And he said, what do you mean? And I said, this news is less than a month old. And I said, you didn't know that Trump was talking about shutting, pretty much shutting down the IRS. He's done consumed the Fed. He stopped me. He said, what do you mean consumed the Fed? I said, he drug the Fed into the Treasury Department. When did that happen? See, these people don't know. If they don't know, that's uninformed, okay? But for people that do know, that can be informed, and they're still stupid, that's their fault, okay? And I explained to him how Trump was going to take away taxes. There won't be no more federal taxes. He's like, when did that happen? I said, that was a couple weeks ago. He didn't know nothing about none of this. I tried to direct him in places. I'm hoping his curiosity takes the betterment of him because he was a well intelligent individual. He well spoken, versed on many different things, but his clarification of real information was not there. So I tried to fill the void the best I could for him, but it's going to be up to him and his choices to go forth to find out. But anyway, y'all, I found it hilarious with Michael Obama, and I really find it hilarious that people actually are still buying into John Kerry, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, or any of these same old list of suspects that's got them at the beginning of their so-called representative name. Because there might be 10 out of that whole damn party that might actually have some humanity still left in their heart, or have an understanding on what we, the people, means. They can't tell me they get in there and they thought it was one way, and then they get in there and figure out it's some other way, and they jump on the bandwagon. Okay, most of these people know if we're heading towards government. Okay, I'd read something somewhere. I think it was Larkin Rose put it out that an individual that wants to be a politician has psychopathic tendencies from the beginning. Period. Because none of them even understand what their job is if they are to follow the Constitution. Okay. A lot of people don't know this. July 4th, y'all can go back and find the tweets. I think it was right after Mount Rushmore. Trump's wife, Melania, put out a brief tweet that she was looking forward to getting back to the White House and watching POTUS sign the Constitution. Did that just go over y'all's head too? Because if he reinstated the real Constitution of the United States of America, or the Republic for which it stands, one nation under God, okay? Or if he done this and took all power away from the statist government known as the deep state, our whole world just changed July 4th and we didn't even know it. This just, it's strange to watch these people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer that thinks people's in his chair. I don't know if y'all seen that video or not. They caught him coming into one of their Congress things, and he was trying to whisper in the ear of the stenographer sitting there, and she's like, "Get away from me!" And he walks over to where I guess he's supposed to be sitting, okay, and he tells something or somebody that wasn't there, okay, according to the camera, there wasn't nobody in that chair, and he's telling him to get out of his chair. And you got members sitting in there a couple rows back and a couple rows forward and over to the left. They're looking at him like, what the fuck is he doing? Okay, but anyway, this is the kind of people that calls themselves leaders. Where have we got mentally? Okay? Like I said at the beginning of all this, there's coming a time where the ones that run for this, the ones that think that it don't interfere with them, they don't live in that world. They're in that world whether they like it or not. If they're spending money, if they're getting a paycheck, they're getting welfare, they're paying their taxes, y'all in that world whether y'all like it or not. Okay? Well, you think it don't interfere with you. Oh, see, there's so much of the mass population thinks that way, but don't have a clue when they go buy their lottery ticket or their six-pack of beer that they're part of this world, whether they like it or not. So, us being people are going to have to get back to this thing that most people knows the definition for. It's called engagement. The thing that they do every day in their own life, they're going to have to engage into some things that they probably really don't want to be there in the first place. But if you don't engage the other side of this coin that you run around and you claim that don't interfere with you right now, you talking about interfering with you. The other side of this coin ever got back in or ever does get back in, creeps back in, creeping death. Your whole fucking world will go from what you know now to things of pure, straight up hell. Whether anybody wants to believe that or not. Even that's out there, the white pages that they had planned, the 16-year plan with Obama and Hillary. These last rubber stamps was about ready to hit that fucking desk. Most people don't have a clue on how effed up things was going to be. Okay? This ain't a fear tactic. This should be common sense for people to have an understanding. You can't run from your responsibilities, and one of the biggest responsibilities is a say-so at a vote, whether you can see it or not. You know, it's took me years. This will be the I supported Trump in the first one. Okay, I was a belief. I'm in a belief of our Bible. Uh, it ain't what this individual says; it's what these individuals do. Okay, and I watched Trump's tree develop a lot of good fruit for we the people. Okay, so this go around, this will be the first time in my entire life I've ever voted for anyone, because I've been watching this game for many years off and on, really got my head sucked into it after my heart attack, because I didn't have the outside world known as my job consuming all of this all the time. Once that got taken away from me and I had to sit down, be quiet, and still, I started to see how fucked up everything really was. And for a lot of y'all out there, I'm sure that this has happened in many different ways. Okay? Even my own mother, she even admitted it, that she didn't realize how screwed up this world was and how it actually run until my grandmother come down to the point where she needed to be taken care of, and she couldn't afford to be put in a welfare home for the elderly, nursing home, and she thought that it was her duty, which that was something that was bestowed in my mother a long time ago, which was good. If it comes down for it to me and I got to have a place to do that for my own mother, yeah, it'll happen, whether she likes it or not. But anyway, she seen it right after that, where she had to take care of her mother, my grandmother, full time. Then she started seeing how the system was geared against my grandmother, against her, against anything that was for we the people. It's never been there for that. None of this is. They hand you a cookie. They tell you that it's chocolate chip. You bite down in it and you can't find no chocolate chips. But they tell you it is. And since they gave it to you, keep your fucking mouth shut, go on down the road. That's what it's all about. You know, I gotta reapply again for my medical benefits out here in West Virginia, and I'm beginning to wonder if these benefits are not set up on a status of is this individual alive or dead? Um, because I'm 100%, that's what they consider me, 100% disabled. I'm no good to nobody other than myself, I can feed and poop, okay? But I'm beginning to think, me being 100% disabled, why should I have to every year reapply? What's going on with that? Do they think all of a sudden I'm not going to need the medical assistance on what they call assistance, which ain't much anyway, which I'm hearing that Trump's got plans for that too, to help the handicapped, the elderly, the older people, the children. This is what I'm hearing. So I think it's some kind of game too. But anyway, every year I got to reapply. I guess it shows them that I'm not dead. But dead people vote every day. How can they prove I'm not dead? It blows me away. This ain't really a bitch session. It's just me getting on here, having an understanding. And any of y'all out there ever heard of Charlie Ward? I think if y'all are like-minded as me and y'all can find Charlie Ward, y'all ought to look him up and listen to him. He does interviews with all kinds of different people, all different types of races, creeds, sexes, um, financial, down to earth people. He's all over the board with people. Okay, does all kinds of interviews. He's connected somehow to our government on an insider or two, and he knows things. He allows things out up to a certain point, but he can't go past his NDAA. But the insiders need people like him, which is a lot out here, that give facts when needed. Okay, my understanding, we're going to see a strange situation coming up here pretty soon in our election, and it's sounding like that we're going to be in a, I don't know how you explain it to most people. There's going to be a whole nother voting apparatus type thing. It's built under the brick system, quantum computing. Um, it's already been patented. My understanding that this is how it's going to work. You'll have a vote, uh, a mail-in vote type thing that you take to the post office. You will have a voter ID card. You push in the computer. It reads your vote, then gives you a receipt back or stamps the paper you put in it, stamps that paper digitally for you only. So that dead people, Mickey Mouse, and Mexicans, Hindus, and everybody else from all over the world can't vote. The Chinese, when they started getting kicked out of the United States from their embassies, they spent days burning paperwork. And the fragments and pieces that was found was already filled out voter registrations, filled out mail-in ballots. If your vote didn't mean nothing, and I believe that for a long time. If my vote didn't mean anything, why they go through this much hassle? Okay, is that was the only thing in our preambles and stuff that our rights and our voting rights that actually still meant anything, was they still needed we the people to vote them in. No, they needed names and signatures, whether they was real or not. It could have come from Zeta Reticula, as long as it was a stamp or a name that they can say, "See, you voted for me." It could have been hell. It could have been my mouse. As long as it was on that damn piece of paper, their politically correct piece of paper. I find it stupid, but anyway, Yes, I'll be voting this year, first time in my entire life. And it'll probably be the last time, too, to be honest. Because I don't know how much longer I'm going to live versus somebody else with the moral compass that Trump does have ever been able to sit in that seat and do what he's done for the people of the United States of America and the world. People don't realize how much Trump has got his fingers in everybody's pies through the world right now. Okay? He's made a lot of deals that the media won't talk about when they do hear about it because it's something good for everybody. And a lot of things he keeps his mouth shut about, and he's done told them if he goes to do something, he's not going to broadcast it and let everybody know what he's up to. He just does it. He says as he does, it does as he does as he do. I guess that's the right way of saying it. But anyway, peace to all y'all. It's going on 36 minutes. It's a little long. I didn't mean to be this far into it. But anyway, let y'all go. And peace to all y'all. And I hope you're having a good day for wherever you're at. I do. Because there's people out here in some horrible ass places that we know nothing about. And I believe the black pill's on its way for the ones that want to know. Just remember, by taking the red pill, by taking the black pill, once you learn and see and hear and have a truth in here of what that moral compass is and who you are, you can't never go back. You can't never quit. You can't never not learn something that you've learned, because pictures is worth 1,000 words. I'll just put it that way. And there's a lot of pictures starting to come out. Peace.